Welcome to the TMZ podcast, the afternoon edition. I'm Eric. This is Branson, and we're going to update you on all of our top stories today here at TMZ.
That was so commercial.
You like that?
I like it. Very good.
Commercial?
Very commercial.
Too commercial?
You know?
Right, I'm sorry.
And I like that you mentioned my name because people keep calling me Hat Guy in the comments.
Yeah, this is Branson. I am Eric.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram at I Hate Eric Wilson.
I'm not going to give my handle.
At Branson
You
Quirk.
can go find that. Okay, fine.
You can follow us both. If you, I would like to see who gets more followers by the end of the day. I feel like it's a good tell of who you like more. So.
I love Eric, by the way. I really
we're
do.
friends. Like
we're besties. We
Yeah.
text all night, you know? Even
especially in the
sometimes
comments.
especially like into the twilight zone of the night, too.
Yeah,
Like into the 2,
twilight
3,
zone. Yeah.
like 2, 3 a.m. zone.
No,
you know?
never. I fell asleep last night listening to Harry Styles' new album.
What did I do last night? I had Chili's. I got a triple dipper with chicken crispers, mozzarella sticks,
Mozzarella
and-
sticks. That's the
and what
worst
else?
abbreviation of mozzarella.
and sliders.
Okay.
It was tasty.
That sounds
Good
good.
salsa. I
Yeah.
love Chili's.
Okay.
You know, what's your favorite place to eat at?
I mean, we don't have to talk about this, but you know, I'm Hal and Ray's LA chicken tenders. If you're ever in LA, hit up Hal and Ray's.
I like Popeyes for my chicken tenders.
You know, can't kick a Popeye out of bed.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about Popeyes.
No.
We got some pretty good updates here for you on some of the stories we've been following today and throughout the week. Let's start, of course, with Britney Spears.
So Britney Spears, obviously, we're continuing to update this investigation into what exactly happened a couple nights ago when she was arrested in Ventura County for DUI. Now, today we've learned that she could potentially face jail time. And this is all comes down to the fact, well, they're investigating it, that pills were found during the arrest in her car. We know authorities had said that pills were not found in the car, but sources tell us that pills were indeed found. I don't know if authorities are just waiting to release this information or not. So sources familiar with the situation tell TMZ the pills were Adderall obtained during a recent trip to Mexico. Sources also say one reason Britney frequently traveled to Mexico is to obtain these Adderall pills.
Which I find so strange because, one, she's a celebrity in LA. How hard is it to get? I mean, I would get Adderall in college off of someone who worked in the dining hall.
Did you just admit to that on a live podcast?
It was a long time ago.
Statute of limitations are
yeah,
left
exactly.
out? Okay.
But I feel like, why did she have to go to Mexico? She was there in December.
Well, you know, I feel like we've seen her go to Mexico on
buying in bulk?
vacation. I don't know. I mean, there could be
Costco
many
of
reasons.
Adderall is Mexico?
There could be a variety of reasons because she likes going to Mexico, first
Yeah.
of all. She vacations there a lot. Maybe she thinks, perfect timing, I'll go vacation and I'll pick up my Adderall. But then again, this is just what sources are telling us.
Yeah.
Until the official facts come out from law enforcement, this is what we know right now. It is noted that the drugs obtained in Mexico, this is the interesting part, sometimes laced with fentanyl, cocaine, meth, or other substances. We know that she was booked into jail on suspicion of having alcohol and drugs in her blood.
Yeah.
Now, we know that the blood came back, or we don't know officially what that reading is, but she was apparently telling people that her alcohol level was 0.06, as we said yesterday, legal limit 0.08.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, I mean, if she did have Adderall in the car or if she goes to Mexico just for Adderall and then it was somehow laced with fentanyl or cocaine, I mean, that unexpectedly and really not to her fault, changes things a lot and could
100%.
get her in a lot more trouble.
100%.
So,
It's never good. It's never a good idea to buy pharmaceutical drugs off of the black market, they call it.
sure.
Yeah. Exactly. So this is Britney's first DUI, and I know there's a lot of talk about jail time and everything. So the reason we're saying that she could face jail time is because it's not just potentially alcohol. So if it is drugs, it's up to the judge, his discretion, if he wants to point to jail time. You said yesterday that you think that's a bad idea, right? If this is a situation where she needs to go to rehab. So we'll see.
Yeah, and if it is just a DUI, I think the penalty in California for your first DUI is 4 months suspended license.
Is that right?
I believe.
Okay.
So I guess
what happened to Justin Timberlake was arrested for DWI, which is similar to the situation, and he ended up getting a slap on the wrist. Just community service time, which, by the way, what did he end up doing community service-wise? Usually this is what happens. Celebrities just get community service, and it's a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
Britney, total different situation.
Could be.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. But we have heard from a couple people today. Dr. Drew, we had him on TMZ Live, who says that Britney needs to better manage her addiction and her mental health, because when you're dealing with mental health struggles, drugs, sometimes not the best thing to include with alcohol as like a cocktail of sorts.
Sure.
So, yeah, Dr. Drew coming on TMZ Live, he said that sober coaches alone are not the solution here. He believes that Britney needs formal addiction treatment, which he said would also positively impact her bipolar diagnosis. So, I mean, there's a lot up in the air here. I just want to hear the facts, and I really hope the best for Britney.
Yeah, and Kevin Federline also wishes Britney Spears well, her very, very famous ex and the father of her 2 children. Kevin Federline is publicly wishing Britney Spears well following her DUI arrest. Sorry, I don't know why that was so hard to say. Kevin hopes for the best for Britney, and if help is necessary, he hopes that she will neither resist it or those who are attempting to work with her. So
I said it yesterday.
Open to the people who
right,
are trying to help her,
and I'm sure people have been trying to help her for a very long time. But
Yeah.
now that the law is involved, that it could become a requirement, and if she doesn't get the help,
yeah,
leave
because
jail time.
we know that she pushed away her sobriety coach weeks before the DUI arrest.
Yeah.
So, that was obviously someone huge who was trying to help her, and that was their whole literal job. And that was someone that she pushed away and fired. So hopefully this time around, having been caught, she will be more receptive to people coming in to help her.
On a positive note, before we move
Yeah.
on, the Britney Spears biopic is still, quote, in the zone, and the arrest will not have an impact. The film is based on her best-selling memoir, The Woman in Me, and remains in active development despite the legal situation, remains on track. The director of Wicked, actually, who is behind the film, John M. Chu, is set to helm the project, and Britney is expected to be very involved still, including having an input on casting decisions, and Universal, as of now, has declined to comment on the whole situation. Who's going to play Britney in the biopic? They have not even teased it.
I think if I had to guess, and here's the thing, 5 or 6 years ago, I was with my friend Troy, and we were in his apartment, and Wicked came up. And maybe it was right after John Chu was announced. I said, Ariana for Glinda, Cynthia Erivo for Elphaba. And I'm so glad I had a witness there when I said it.
Wow.
Because flash forward 3 years, boom, casting announcement.
Wow.
So now that we have cameras on me, here's my prediction.
Okay.
Britney Spears will be portrayed by Sabrina Carpenter.
That would... Why?
She's young enough to play her as a child, which is obviously they're absolutely going to cover her come up into the game. And then I also think she can transition into a more adult role by the time this gets going, to a more mature type of Britney. And also, Britney's gone through some changes over the years physically. She's come and gone in different styles and appearances. So I think makeup will help carry that as well. Mm-hmm. And I think Sabrina would do an amazing job. Do you have a prediction?
As much as I love Sabrina doing that, and I think she'd do a great job, amazing singer, could probably do very well.
Yeah.
I feel like someone to play Britney has to be a nobody.
Yeah.
It has to be kind of like Star Wars did it, where they brought nobodies in for the new relaunch of the series.
I could see that too.
I would love to see someone where it doesn't take me away from the story
because you don't need a big star to sell a Britney Spears biopic. People are going to see that regardless.
Kind of like Austin Butler with Elvis. I mean, my parents had no clue who Austin Butler was until
that's fair. Okay, maybe I will be wrong.
I mean, he was a big star, but he wasn't a household name yet.
Yeah,
So I would love to see a nobody, maybe even a really good Britney Spears impersonator.
Well,
only for this film, not the Michael Jackson one, because that Fabio guy, he's the worst.
Fabio guy?
You know what I'm talking about? The Michael Jackson impersonator who was like, I should have been cast as the
is this the guy who has the documentary about him too?
He's the one that like can't
on Hollywood
dance that well.
On Hollywood Boulevard?
He's the one that he crossed his arms when he saw the Michael Jackson impersonator, the meme where he crosses his arms and he's like, I don't remember. Wow. And everyone's like, who left you in charge of Michael Jackson? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't think impersonators should portray anybody they're impersonating.
There's a couple really good Britney impersonators that I think could do a fantastic job. So maybe.
You need to act. There's an emotional depth to the story.
To it.
And I think it's going to be pretty good. I can't wait for it, actually.
Well, really quick, we don't have too much time left, and I do want to get to your story that Eric had a story.
I'm forcing a story on him.
That he begged to do.
Tony hates it more than Branson.
I didn't even bother reading it because I haven't seen the show.
I'll cover it.
It's a thick stack of papers. I actually have it on the floor right here because it's such a thick stack of papers. But really quick, we do want to talk about Rick Harrison. Everybody knows Pawn Stars.
Sure.
On this episode of Pawn Stars, everybody knows the show, right?
That's the quote.
that's how I know it.
Quote. That's the Pawn Stars quote.
That's the intro.
Not like best I could do is $10.
Eric, I don't hate this story, this Rick Harrison story. It's quite interesting.
No, not Rick Harrison.
No. He's talking about going
the
to
one
get
you
to.
actually hate.
Oh,
Yeah,
exactly. So Pawn Stars, everybody knows Big Hoss. If you've seen the show, it's Rick's son. Well, Big Hoss, he's been asking fans for financial help recently after spending nearly all of his money on medical bills following a serious motorcycle accident in Tulum, Mexico back in January. If you've seen the photos of his injuries, they look brutal, and I really do feel bad for him, and I hope he, recovers from this. He had 11 fractured ribs, a concussion, facial injuries, basically so bad that it caused him to miss his own dad's January wedding. And he's kind of stuck out there right now, just sitting in the recliner. Now, he put up a GoFundMe with an $18,000 goal, and fans are clearly upset because they're saying this is becoming a trend with celebrities. Celebrities are putting out GoFundMes now for willy-nilly things when
Remember when people used to be scared and like embarrassed by a GoFundMe?
Yeah.
Now there's GoFundMes for like, oh, I got a flat tire. Like,
right.
Bitch, go to Pet Boys.
It used to be for people that really needed it.
Yeah.
And some people are commenting, like best I can do, thoughts and prayers. Kind of like the show where like, I got to call a second guy to come in here. Do you mind if I call a second guy and come in here to take a look at this?
That's funny. That's good.
Oh, I appreciate you laughing.
Well, you didn't write it. I'm not
stole
laughing
the
at
comment.
you.
It was on Instagram.
Well, I'm laughing at the comments.
So they goes a little further though, because Rick Harrison, his dad, everyone said, "Why is your dad not helping
well,
you?"
before we go there, he says Rick Harrison helped pay at least half of the massive 6-figure medical bills.
Wow.
Isn't Mexico medical treatment supposed to be cheaper?
It is very much.
Six
Unless
figures
he
is
went
crazy.
to the States and came back. I doubt it though, because
so he's saying he did help a little bit, but we just posted an exclusive literally minutes ago. We spoke to Rick Harrison, and he says he was under the impression that he paid all of the medical bills prior to Corey putting up this GoFundMe. So Rick's very confused as to why he needs more money. He says he's a grown adult. He handles his own financials. And, obviously it's his son. He's happy to help, and he doesn't expect a repayment. I don't think he thinks he can be repaid. But he was under the impression prior to the GoFundMe going up and Corey speaking out about his dad paying half.
Maybe he didn't tell his dad. Maybe he didn't tell his dad about the remaining $18,000. I don't know. I mean, Corey admitted he is reluctant to asking for help, stating, quote, "What am I going to do? Fly out to Vegas and sell stuff? I can't move from my recliner." Because if you remember the show, Big Hoss, he had all these motorcycles. He had all this stuff. Sometimes on the show, he would buy items from people that walked in just for his own personal collection. And some of the stuff was thousands of dollars, So
and it's hard to feel bad, like, vacation in Mexico.
Right. Best I could do is maybe $100 in store credit. What do you think?
I mean, a cushion for the recliner, maybe.
Yeah.
But get well soon, Corey. All right, on to my story here. Okay.
Wait, really quick. Can I grab my papers now?
Yes, please. Grab your encyclopedia. So for those of you who are in the zeitgeist, unlike Branson and Tony, one of the biggest shows on television right now is, of course, Love Story. Relax. Love Story, which is the new Ryan Murphy series portraying the love story between Carolyn Bessette Kennedy and John F. Kennedy Jr. A lot of people are in this show, fictionalized, who are still alive in real life. Obviously, we know Caroline and John had a tragic ending. Their plane crashed off the coast of Martha's Vineyard in 1999. But there's a lot of people who are integral parts to the story who are still alive, and some of them are starting to speak out. So first up, we actually broke an exclusive today. Michael Bergen, who is a very famous former model for Calvin Klein, and he was also on Baywatch. Very, very attractive man, I will say so myself. I mean, look at this guy. Can we cut into this guy? I mean, what?
Let me see how good he really looks.
Are we joking?
Dude, he looks. I mean, I think he looked better in the photo on the right, unshirtless.
I agree. I love that photo. I actually printed it out. It's on my Instagram story at I hate Eric Olsen. I don't know why I'm plugging my Instagram so much today.
Too much self-promotion.
Yeah, I'm on one today. Anyway, so we spoke to Michael, and the biggest rumor involving Michael, obviously, there were two. One, people were saying JFK Jr. was jealous of Michael and the relationship he had with Carolyn before she was with JFK Jr.
Uh-huh.
We asked him that. He shrugs it off. He has no idea. Why would he? You know? It would be nice to think that, right? That the guy your ex-girlfriend is with is jealous of what you had with her.
Yeah, of course.
That's interesting. But he also did not watch the show.
Okay.
So he didn't have much else to say about the show. But someone who did have a lot to say about the show was Daryl Hannah.
I saw this one.
Actress Daryl Hannah, who was a former love interest of JFK Jr. in the very early 90s before they broke up, and then he later got with Carolyn Bessette. Now, in the show, my opinion is Ryan Murphy needed a villain. And for some reason, he chose Daryl Hannah. And he makes her coke-fueled, blowing up at Jacqueline Onassis Kennedy's memorial, comparing her death to a dog, all this stuff. And Daryl Hannah's had enough. She spoke out, in an interview with the New York Times and said, none of this is true. She said, I have never used cocaine in my life or hosted cocaine-fueled parties. She went on to say,
I have the rest of the quote here.
I've endured a number of outrageous lies, creepy stories, and unflattering characterizations before. I chose not to battle them, but to focus on my work and respect my loved ones by keeping my private life private. But my silence should not be mistaken for agreement with lies.
Okay, so here's what I have to say. Ryan Murphy, he has a history of doing this exact thing.
Yeah.
There's been previous shows.
Yep.
One I can think of is Monsters with
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Who
It's
else?
like a Mad Lib.
The Menendez brothers.
Yep.
They were upset about the misrepresentation.
The Menendez brothers themselves were upset, but with Monster, it was the victims' families. All the
families were
people
upset
that
about it.
Dahmer killed, those families were still alive, and some of even the families in like the trial scenes were depicted in the show. And I think the baseline, Jack Schlossberg, who is the nephew of JFK Jr., also said this thing should be taken strictly as fiction, which, fair, it's a TV show, and that Ryan Murphy does not know his family.
So
And this is
historical
what a
fiction
lot of
is what he's
people
saying.
are saying about Ryan Murphy, and I think, he did Versace, he did so many of these over the years. He's a master at biopics, but I think we're entering into a new generation where people don't want others to profit off of tragedy, off of family, strife and things like that. So Ryan Murphy, this, it might be coming to an end as far as biopics, I feel like.
Did you guys see the Ed Gein one? His
Yeah.
most
I
recent?
started the.
But that's
I
like-
could not finish it, dude.
Very-
It was
Ugh.
pretty disturbing. I got to episode
Very.
3.
Yeah, very disturbing. But that was in
Yeah.
the, 50s? None of those people are alive. So there was no
Yeah.
Ed Gein people to speak out.
Yeah.
But now he's running out of old stories and he's tapping into these new stories where family members are still alive.
So where
and
does
they're
it
holding
end
him
with this
accountable.
guy? So Ryan Murphy.
Well, he hasn't spoken out. And Jack Schlossberg said, if you want to do something, donate to the Kennedy Library. Make some sort of gesture that says you're not just stealing profit from these people and making millions off of these stories that other people have went through.
Well, you take
And I agree. I love Ryan Murphy. Ryan Murphy has always been one of my favorite showrunners.
very
and
entertaining.
creators.
I'll give him that. The shows are very
Yeah,
very good.
But it's,
very well
it's
done.
true. You're making so much and you're not even saying really much about how these people feel. It feels kind of cheap.
Well, I mean, in Hollywood, you take a big risk, and this is obviously what he did. He took a big risk to do a biopic. Not even that. What do you call a limited series biopic? Basically that.
Exactly
A
what you just
limited
said.
series biopic.
Yeah.
He took a risk, and he does this time and time again, doing these massive stories, and these stories have such big webs, They have massive families. A lot of people
Especially the Kennedy
portray.
family,
I mean, when you think of a biopic like Elvis,
Yeah.
you focus on Elvis, and you make sure everything is possible, as close as you can to get right.
But
Something
even
like
with that,
this-
you have Priscilla, who's still alive. At the time when Elvis came out, you had his daughter who was still alive.
Right.
So there's
right,
still,
but like
you know-
something like this, I mean, there's so many people involved that you can only portray everyone to a T.
And I think that
You know,
there's a
it's
fine line.
Hollywood,
There's
you
a
know?
fine line to ride. Like some of these stories, sure, they're going to be glamorized in Hollywood. They're going to be portrayed on film or TV. But it's a fine line of what you're adding to help fictionalize the show and to make a better show. And those things you need to do a double check. And like, is this worth putting into the show? This lie, this embellishment, this, kind of conflating things together to make it seem more interesting and compelling. Those are where things need to be put in check.
You want to know why? Because of the way our attention spans are today. True stories, if we really were too accurate to true stories, it's crap. Like,
a lot of them.
I'll be real.
Yeah.
I remember King of Queens. Kevin James said it himself. If it's real, it's crap. That was the quote.
King of Queens was a biopic?
No. He said that in the show because they wanted him to watch a biopic or whatever, like a true story.
Yeah.
And he said, if it's real, it's crap.
Roseanne was a biopic, the TV show.
There's
on My Family.
Obviously there's great true stories that have been made to films and everything. Like a really, really entertaining story, Sully, him landing the plane on the Hudson River. I can think of a million really good ones, but sometimes you have to add these little pieces in there to make the story go along. Sometimes they add characters that don't even exist in real life to, like, love interest.
Composite characters.
Titanic, for example, real thing. Great movie, but the focus is on two fictional people that maybe existed at the time.
Yeah.
That could have existed. So, yeah, biopics, people just need to calm down.
I'm still going to finish the show.
Yeah, I'll check it out tonight.
Sorry.
With a pizza and popcorn. It's the Mountain Mike's Pizza.
And Michael Bergen.
Comment
Man.
what pizza I should get tonight while I'm watching this.
Okay.
What brand? They got DiGiorno. I'm not doing take and bake.
Little Caesars.
Little Caesars is so good. Little Caesars is the best. $5, crazy bread, some sauce, some dip that ding in there. You know what I'm saying? No, dip that in there. Dip that beside the thing there. All right, let's move on to the comments.
I would love a Little Caesar sponsorship.
That's tasty, man. Pretty tasty. Pizza.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, thank you.
6'9".
Wait, what? That's not his. No, you skipped a whole comment, buddy. All right, Jeanette Lynn, I hate to say it, but you're probably full of it. I know people that have had 3 DWIs and never went to jail, so why would you have jail time with the one? I said that literally, we said that yesterday.
That's why I was skipping that comment.
I have friends that have multiple DUIs and they haven't seen jail time either, but this is different. There's drugs potentially involved too. It could be totally different here. It's not just alcohol.
6'9", she should. There's no excuse to drink and drive now that there's Uber. Very correct. And the fact that she reportedly was just leaving to go and just go for a joyride is kind of crazy.
And they have Waymo now, so if you don't want to see a driver.
Imagine you're a driver for Uber and then Britney Spears gets in the back of your car.
Yeah.
I would shit myself. Roger, Sabrina Carpenter should play Hillary Clinton. They look exactly the same.
That is so true.
I hate this opinion. She does not look like Hillary Clinton. She does not.
She does look like Hillary Clinton. Are you kidding me? When she does the hair more like dated, she looks like Hillary Clinton, dude.
Dylan, did Branson just say unshirtless?
I don't know. Unsmartless, or I don't know.
Branson, take off your shirt. Take it off.
No. Actually, right. Charlie Cotton just did that on this exact podcast.
Oh, we can't steal the morning.
A couple days ago. I'm not going to steal that.
No. Okay.
No. We're our own podcast.
If you like, share, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram, I will take off my shirt, and then we'll really get some ratings in this place. You know, if you want to see a little bit of this,
will you rub
stay
some
tuned.
Honey on yourself?
Honey's too sticky, but you know.
How about some Little Caesars?
Ooh, a little hot and ready. That's what they call me in high school. Hot and ready. All right.
They call me the Big Kahuna.
We will see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.
See ya.